Okay, so so last module we have discussed about the web related, the enterprise network related, the architecture, how it looks to certain extent. There are still some components need to be added. I'm not in a rush to like put everything now itself. Let's one by one we'll learn and we'll add it to our enterprise network. Okay, so now now let's discuss about how the internet works first. Okay, like when I enter google.com or when you connect with me Zoom, like I'm not talking about how it passes through, like how I showed you the submarine cable network, all those things. No, the real PC, when you enter something, how it reaches me. Okay, first of all, you have to question yourself when you the same thing you have to question yourself when I launch a like a browser. What is this? This is an application. I have like Zoom is an application. I have, you know, this network related settings and all. This is also an application which is in operating system. Correct, right? Which is in operating system. Okay, whatever I do on this particular application, it goes and communicates with the operating system, that is my Windows machine. It communicates, and then it communicates with like network applications, that this and everything will be happening in the background. Okay, but remember, whatever the user wants to do, he has to interact using the applications only. Like you want to send me the data, use application. Okay, you want to receive some data, you should be on application. You want to speak to me, use an application. You want to browse, use an application. This Chrome is an application, Internet Explorer is an application, Telegram is an application, even calculator is an application. You know, the I have VirtualBox is an application, Internet Explorer is also an application. Okay, there are so many applications out there which are useful for us as an end user. Okay, remember this. Okay, so using one application, okay, using one application, using one application, what you can do, you can send requests. You can send requests. Okay, you can send requests using some application, using the applications. Say for example, okay, browser is there. What request you can send? You can send web request. Like I want to visit to Amazon website. Correct, right? Now I have Zoom application where we are connected. Using this, what we can do? We can do real-time audio, video transmission. Correct, right? Okay. So you can, it will send some requests and we are able to connect all together through Zoom. Okay. That is Zoom application. Okay. And you have file transfer, FT, FileZilla. How many of you heard about FileZilla? Or something, it is just like to send and receive the files. Okay. Or Dropbox or Google Drive. Consider these applications. Consider these applications are file applications, file store, file, file store, file storing applications. Okay. Okay. Any other applications? Any other applications? Telegram. Either it is in browser or in PC, anywhere. All the apps are nothing but applications in your mobile. Okay. Telegram for
OneDrive. OneDrive
message.
also is there.
Yeah. Correct. Here, OneDrive. Correct. OneDrive is from whom? Microsoft. Okay. OneDrive is from Microsoft. Okay. Okay. Telegram for messaging. Okay. Okay. And WhatsApp, same for messaging. For messaging, it is also an application. Okay. So these many are there. Just in few which we use day to day. Okay. These are all applications. Okay. Now the application is residing where? In your phones or in your laptops, in your PCs. Got it right? In your PCs. Let's take one PC or mobile or anything you consider. Okay. You have something called as so many applications are there. Okay. Just keep it like this. Oh, sorry. I don't want to give anything like, like this. Okay. Okay. So as I said, browser is there. Okay. Zoom is there. Okay. Then like Dropbox, just spelling mistakes might be wrong. Bear with me. Sorry for that. Telegram. Okay. WhatsApp. Okay. Even, okay, your network related applications, all these things, calculator, okay. And you also have, okay, this is also an application. Which one? Host-based firewall is there, right? That is also an application. All are applications only, which we have to just use. Okay, let it be. All those things as of now, I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's remove it. Some calculator is there. Okay, Paint is there. Sorry, guys. This is Paint. This is media player. Okay, like VLC or Windows Media Player. Okay, here's something else. Okay.
Hello, hi. I'm sorry. I just joined the meeting. So what exactly are you discussing about right now?
We are just started discussing about what a client applications, what are client applications like that. Okay. We are just started. You can just listen to it. You'll slowly understand it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, when you have this PC or laptop or anything, okay, not only the applications like BROWSCR, right? Sorry, spelling mistake here. And browser, Zoom, Dropbox, Telegram, WhatsApp, calculator, in the same way like Paint application, okay. And you might be having, other applications like Notepad. Okay. And also you have some other applications like, like MS Office Excel or Word, MS Word, Microsoft Word. Okay. So these are, so many are there. Okay. I'm just stopping over here. Okay. These are all, each and everything, whichever you see in your mobile, those apps are called as applications. Okay. Those apps are called as application. Remember one thing. Okay. Some application requires network to be available to use them, and some applications require no network to be available for using them. Example, calculator. Does it require any internet? No, it doesn't require any internet. So just give low priority in your organization to secure them, or low priority for your home computer to secure the calculator or any such type of thing. Give more security or more, your thought process towards the security to be more of the applications like, the browser. Let me cut this. I don't want to see this with this spelling mistake. Yeah, browser. Okay, so now some of them needs internet, like browser requires an internet. Zoom application where you and I communicated now through your mobile or PC, which is there in your phone or the laptop. It requires the internet. Dropbox requires internet. Telegram requires internet. Calculator, no, not required. Paint, no, not required. Notepad, no, not required. Word, it depends upon if you want to attach some images, getting it downloaded from internet, yeah, you can use it. If you don't want, no internet required. Okay, so these are called as applications. Okay, so these are applications. Okay, what we require, we will take one application like browser now as an example, how they work. Okay, now take the browser. Okay, now this is the browser. Okay, and what you'll do, you will give some information in the address bar, like you wanted to reach google.com, correct, right? Okay, now what you'll do, you'll enter www. or amazon.com. Okay, you will give it here. Okay, then what happens? Okay, it doesn't just sit, whatever the request you give doesn't sit over here. That means it is something doing internally in the background and getting that information back to you and displaying it over here for you, like all whatever, let's do that here itself. Okay, amazon.com. When I click on it, okay, what it is doing, it is going and bringing this particular information back to us. Means we are first sending the request that I want this web page, and from somewhere it is bringing and displaying it over here. So snipping tool, take it out, just let me put it, copy and paste it over here, just shrink it. Okay, now the web page has arrived for us. This is called as a request for which we have sent. Okay, let it be. Let me keep it. Okay, Control X. Okay, let it be here itself. So the web page has arrived. So what the request, what we have entered, and when we clicked enter on it, the request went outside of my application and went into my operating system through the network, through my internet cable or through my Wi-Fi. It reached where? It reached to the internet, and from there it passed through so many routers and reached where? Somewhere the server where this all web page information is present. Okay, and brought that information and showed or displayed it in front of my screen like this. Okay, within this fraction of seconds, so much thing is happening. You want to see how what and all are happening, don't get scared. But I don't know whether I have Firefox is not there. Okay, let it be. Let me show you here itself. Wireshark, don't get scared. Okay, just want to show you, that's it. Takes a couple of like seconds to launch, and then another 10-15 seconds to get loaded everything. It is a software that to know what is happening in your computer with respect to what data is going outside, what data is coming from external to internal into your computer. This software will be used. I'll be explaining this software tool, till whatever it is required for you guys, how much ever it is required for you guys. So yeah, wireless connection. Yeah. Okay. If you see, this is the data that is happening. Like so much data is going out, coming in. It looks something crazy for you guys, but this is what it is happening. Okay, as of now, without knowing to you, these are all the things that are happening. Guys, give me a second. I'm getting an important call. So if you observe this particular thing, you are able to see a lot of, the data transmissions that different applications they are sending. It's going through our, my voice data is going. Okay, whatever I have browsed, that also went. And internally, the applications like Microsoft applications, they are trying to reach Microsoft server and try to get some information for, like updates or anything for it. Okay, so many things are happening. Okay, so what I would like to say here is, like, without knowing to you, it's not like whatever you're just browsing, that only it is going out. As of now, it is not like that. So many things are happening without knowing to in the background. Okay, when you use some such kind of softwares only, you will come to know that what it is happening over there. Okay, so this tool we will learn later. As of now, it is not that much important for us, so we'll ignore it. Just the only the case, like, I want to show you, so many applications will be communicating without knowing to you in the background, to show that I have actually got this. Okay, so example, one more thing to show that. Okay, TCP dot port is equal to 4. Okay, so now I am trying to reach Amazon.com. Okay, okay, all these things you'll learn it, nothing to worry. Okay, when I say continue without saving, okay, when I say Amazon dot okay, google.com will do, google.com. Okay, see here, this website's related traffic, that where it is going, how it is going, all that information also you will come to know. Like, this is only, I have filtered only the website traffic that went to the Google. Okay, so there are a lot of exchanges happening. Client is sending some data to the server, means like our application is sending the data to the server, and server is sending some data to us. So many things are happening. We don't like need to fear about all those things. Step by step we are learning, but the thing you have to remember, always constant communication will be happening in between the client and server, and then you will get ultimately this web page back to you successfully within that fraction of second. Maybe tens or 20 messages might have transferred in between the client and the server. Now I told, like, this is an application. This application is called as a client. Okay, where you are sending the request. Okay, then what is meant by server? What is meant by server? Server is nothing but, okay, this is the client. This is the client. Okay, then what is meant by a server? Server is the location in Amazon Office. In Amazon Office itself, they have some sort of, okay, let me keep this here. Okay, in Amazon Office itself, they have some web server they have kept, means some people who come with some requests, like, oh god, this is a night, where it is here. Okay, this is the server. Take this server. Okay, okay, here, like, I'll show you. In the server, you have also some, like, it is also having some processor, RAM, everything is there. In that, what you'll have some hard disk, correct, right? Some hard disk. Okay, some storage. Okay, this is the hard disk. Okay, in this particular hard disk are the SSD, or SSD, some storage device, okay, in that server. Okay, they have kept what they have kept. They have kept this pages, whatever you are getting, right? Those pages they have kept in the folder structure format like this. Okay, like this, some folder structure format like this. Okay, some. Okay, how they will be, just a simple way I can show you. I can create one. I will launch the notepad. Okay, now I want to write the source code for like Amazon or my own website. Okay, HTML language we will use. HTML. This you don't require to learn, but just see this body. Some headline I'll keep H1. Okay, this is Raghav. Consider my system is now H2, H1. Consider my system is now web server. Okay, my system is now web server. Consider. Okay, and I'm ending the body. All these things are not required. This is development thing. I'm just showing you how they work. That's it. Don't get confused. HTML. Okay, now I'm just saving it. Save as. Saving it on desktop as a web page, like Raghav companies, like Amazon website, like same way. Okay, HTML. Okay, I'm just saving it in the desktop itself. Okay, now what I'll do is I will go to that location. Okay, in the desktop location. Okay, in that desktop location, where is Raghav or Raghav? Okay, so this is a web page, kind of server page. Okay, some website I have created just now. Let us open that. Whether how it opens, I want to open. Someone has asked the request. They will take this file from this location to their, like, if someone come to and ask me, please provide me www.raghav.com, means I will send from my server to their browser application. Okay, when they open it, it looks like this for them. Hey, this is Raghav. Got it, right? Okay, since here I have, where I have stored it, in my C drive, users Lenovo desktop, Raghav web page is stored. Okay, but instead of, okay, Google or Amazon is in some location, different location, right? So that's why we use a domain names. Domain name, when you click, what you are going to get, it is going to that location and it is getting that particular HTML or web page back to you. That you have to remember. Okay, that you have to remember. Means the developers of that company developed some web pages and they have kept it in some server location. Okay, when I enter the exact location of that particular thing, like Amazon.com is a, people told me to get that file, Amazon website page, just enter this location. We will take care how it has to be brought back, that page back to you and display it onto your screen. If you guys want that, just give this. We will send that web page, like this kind of web page, whatever, like I showed you, right? Small code they have written, that their developers have written and they kept it over there. They have loaded all those computers, everything, this display, whatever you're seeing, right? All these things is there in that website. That file, it is coming back and showing it onto your screen. Okay, got it, right? Got it, right? So now we have discussed about like how you get the web page. Same way, if you take any file related things as well, different applications, right? Okay, Zoom, when you enter my ID and password, when I click call or anything from my application, it will go and connect where it is the server somewhere it is in the remote location that where the Zoom server is there. Okay, and I am going and connecting to that server through my application. Okay, and you are going to communicate. Okay, and everyone is going and communicate there. Okay, and that collaboratively. Okay, uh, okay, all our data is getting control Y. Okay, all our data is able to get merged over here, and everyone is able to hear others voice. Everyone is able to see the charts that others have sent, because here the data is getting processed in the server. Okay, not like my data is directly going to your system. It is not like that. It is going to the Zoom server. Zoom server it is going. Okay, this is Zoom server. Zoom. Okay, say for example, from my side, this is a Boya or Raghav Zoom application. Raghav Zoom app. Okay, and it is, say for example, this is Abdul Zoom app. Okay, and this is Kishore Zoom app. So all these guys applications are there on their PCs. When they launch it and they connect to this thing, Zoom server will be like getting, when Abdul speaks, I will be able to listen, and as well as Kishore will be able to listen. When when he speaks, everyone is able to listen. That taken care by the Zoom server. Which one? Zoom server. Okay. So like this, every client, but what kind of service it is doing? It is doing some audio, video related stuff. Okay. So now we are like little closer to understand now what is actually a server is. Okay. So client are sending the request, and server is processing and sending that data back to the client. Okay. So it is in some office premises of an enterprise, correct, right? Or it might be in some cloud like Google or anything, or Amazon or somewhere. Okay. So what I want to tell you, mainly focus here is, remember two things. Okay. Client sends the request, server sends the response. This line you have to remember. Okay. This line you have to remember. Client sends the request and server sends the response. Okay. Okay. If you have application in your PC, the server is in remote location. That thing you have to remember. Okay. Okay. So now I entered the google.com, will follow with that itself. All these things are called as, this client is nothing but application only. Client is nothing but the application. Okay. Now let us see one more little deep dive into this browser itself. Okay. We are sending the data using the client, correct, right? So the application part is clear now. Application part is over now. Okay. Now what are all applications will be there? We have understood how they go and get the data is also you understood. But okay, there is something like, your system might be like very old system. My system might be very new system. Okay, latest system, latest all softwares, hardware, everything is updated. Okay. Now, have you ever observed this kind of, this kind of thing, that whenever a client is there, okay, example, I'll be, how I can say that, like you have very old Nokia phone, which is not a smartphone, normal phone, but you have, your friend has got some, some very good nice phone, something like, the smartphone, like a Samsung or Android or iPhone. Okay. In that you have sent some smiley as a SMS. Okay. And your friend will receive it. Okay. You might have seen, okay, the characters might have not, like he might have not received it as a smiley. Instead, some junk characters like, they might have received something like, where it is. Yeah. Okay. Like something like, like this, something they might have received it. Okay. They might have not received as the smiley image, emoji, whatever he has sent. The client has, I mean, like the the mobile one has sent, might have not received by mobile two. Why? Because phone two. Why? Because this guy doesn't have supporting software that understand this is an emoji, because this is outdated phone. This is an outdated phone. Outdated phone. This one. Okay. This is the latest one. Okay. So remember, whenever the communication happens, okay, whatever you sent is received by other person as is, it is not guaranteed. Okay. Example. Now I have launched a website. Okay. And I have entered www dot say some, some Chinese website I have given. Okay. Request I have given. Okay. It will go and bring the response back to me. Okay. Of the content of that Chinese website. Here, I might not be able to see, that particular, whatever the Chinese characters. I will be seeing some, instead of Chinese characters, I will be seeing some, some different kind of, what I can say, some special characters. Okay. Special characters are like this. Like this kind of some format, or this kind of some format you'll be seeing instead of Chinese characters. Okay. So what I want to say here is, okay, whenever, okay, someone is trying to get the web, go to that website and get that web page. Okay. If your browser doesn't support that language, it will be showing you some different kind of uh, characters, special characters, because they don't understand and they thought it is something else and they displayed that. Okay. And one more thing. Okay. One more example. You have created some nice email. Okay. And sent it to your, uh, like your boss has, your boss has sent a mail with nice statistics, everything. You have very old phone. Okay. Like in that he has created tables, lot of things he has created, and they have sent a mail to you, and you opened that mail in the phone. Okay. Which is very old phone. Okay. So in a mail, when you open it, you know the text what they have written, and those tables and all are not shown properly. Okay. How come? Because the table plotting, the client, I mean, like your friend, whatever has sent is received properly, but your phone doesn't have any capability of drawing those tables in in that particular phone. Okay. That capability is not there. Okay. All these things are called as what? All this, when you send emoji that doesn't properly displaying, instead of that some characters it is getting displayed. When you request for any Chinese website, uh, uh, to view Chinese or Russian websites or anything. Okay. When that website gets launched, instead of seeing the Chinese characters or those Russian website, Russian characters, or Hindi characters, okay, or Tamil, Telugu, okay, these characters, if you are able to see it, okay, instead of seeing that, if you are see some special characters over there instead of that language, then that means like your browser is not able to support that particular language. Okay, the same thing, like when someone sends some email to you or someone sends some something to you, that application, when you launch it and open that particular mail or something, if you're not able to see those tables, whatever the diagrams, like the pie charts, okay, or bar charts, whatever they have sent, if you are not able to see, only text you are able to see, then all that comes under the presentation related things. Okay, presentation related things. Presentation means, okay, where how you want to display the data on to the client is taken care by the presentation thing in your operating system or in the application, sorry, in the application. So for to display the data properly in the application, along with the application, you need something called as presentation. Okay, presentation. Okay, got it right? Okay, now the presentation, you have done it properly. Okay, and you both are able to, you are able to send the data and you are able to receive the data and properly it is getting displayed. But if you properly see few applications, okay, what happens? This entire web page, whatever it is there, this entire web page, you cannot send it in a single shot. You cannot send it a single shot to your clients. What they will do? They will chop it into small pieces and then send it to us. Or they will take this entire web page, they will compress it. We can use some zip softwares, right? Zip softwares, 7-zip, WinZip, WinRAR softwares we can use. Correct, right? For compressing. Correct, right? For compressing. Okay. Once after compress and send, okay, so you are sending less data onto the internet and the data will be received at the client, and when the client, before it opens, it uncompresses it and displays it onto our screen. Okay, got it right? It uncompresses it and displays it onto the screen. All these are happening within that fraction of second without knowing to your notice. When the client sent it, it sent it, but this zip software will be there in the browser itself. You need not to install separately on your application. This simple zip software is there in the browser itself. You need not to install it. So whenever the server sends any data, it has compressed it and sent it to us. And when it received to our browser, before it displaying to our onto our screen, it unzipped and displayed it. Okay, so this is called as presentation, and this is, I mean, sorry, this is called as encoding. Okay, encoding is also happens at the presentation. Encoding is also happening at the presentation. Encoding or presentation means the data, you are playing around with the data. Okay, when the server comes, how to display. Okay, the compressed data is there, how to display all these things. Okay, and one more thing, presentation comes like someone send some data to you. Okay, like, you know, like example, have you seen this lock symbol? Lock symbol, have you seen this here or here? Any website, like if you go to okay, any website, if you go, see this. Okay, if you go to, see this lock symbol is there, right? That is called as, if I click it, connection is secure. Your information is secured. Your information is secured. And you see some cookies, certificate, some certificate is valid, all those things. See, certificate is valid. So what it is and all, we'll learn it later. But as of now, what you have to remember is, okay, it says that you have reached the genuine Flipkart website. Okay, you have reached genuine Best Buy website. Okay, you have reached genuine Amazon website. That is like it is secure to browse and purchase the data. And whatever the data which I try to search, say for example, I want to buy a gaming console. Okay. Now this again will go and bring the data, what are all gaming consoles are available in Amazon.com, right? Okay. When I click it, the data is sent in a secured way using some capabilities of Amazon website. Okay. Some Amazon website, some securely, they have some algorithms. It uses that. What are all those algorithms? We'll see it later. It uses those and sends that particular thing to the server. And after it received at the server, okay, server knows like how securely that user has sent. The same thing he'll apply it. Like I have shown you some encryption related things yesterday, right? Okay, converting plain text to ciphertext, that kind of thing, they will apply it. Okay, and then they will decode it and they will understand, oh, Mr. Raghav wants to search gaming consoles related results on his web, on our website. Okay, I am sending that results back to you. When it also sends, it will actually does the encryption, means ciphering it will do and send it to us. Since we know both each other very well, that we, before we start the communication itself, we know that how we have to encryption, everything we have to do. We know that we will be discussing it later, but we know them how to do that. So we will be able to understand it, how, and we will be able to decrypt it and display it onto the screen. Okay, if any zipping happened, I'll unzip also, and then I will display it onto the screen. Okay, so this is how the gaming consoles are displaying now as a results. Okay, so this particular, like whatever it is happening, right, all these things will be taken care, like encryption, encoding, all these things are, encoding means like I sent in one language, and the same language you are able to properly see it on your browser. That is called as encoding. Okay, I sent some tabular format of some data. You're able to see it because encoding is successful onto that particular application. Okay, all these things comes under the presentation. Okay, this is the presentation, encoding everything. Okay, now one more thing I will show you next. Okay, these two things, I hope everything is clear for you guys, but I'll take the doubts after some time. Before to that, we'll go next application presentation session. Okay, yeah. Okay, till here, any doubts? Recording in progress. My God. Okay, there is some kind of, okay, I'll